Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers and geeks alike, I'm coming to you in glorious HD this week. I do. I am in HD. I've been in HD ready for a while, but now I'm fully HD. Podcast listeners again, what the fuck are you talking about, boy? I can't see ya. Quite rightly so. If you could, then you're not listening to the podcast, you're watching the video on YouTube, which I'm really grateful for. Give us a thumbs up. Hello, Keith. How are we doing?
I'm good. I've been in HD for a few weeks. I just want to point that one out. But
yeah, we didn't want you in HD.
No, I'm good. I'm good. It's been a good week for TV this week. We've had some good shit. So
yeah, we've had some good shit. We've had some mistimed shit too.
Yes,
we'll talk about later.
And we've had some terrible shit. But the terrible shit was funny. And incredibly predictable. But I'm sure we'll get into that in the news.
Can I ask you something? Were you affected by the crowd strike outage?
No.
Okay.
But, well, not directly part of the... let's say my part wasn't, but there are other parts that I was involved in fixing. But at one point Microsoft said reboot it 15 times and it tends to fix it.
15 times?
No word of a lie. On their website, they put out a thing saying reboot it up to 15 times seems to fix it. But I've always had separate antivirus products on my servers and my clients, so therefore, even had I been affected by this, only partially would I have been affected by this. But there you go. But it was fun. I mean, the media's I know this is the world's biggest outage, but trust me, this shit happens every week. It's just not on this scale.
This scale, yes.
But software companies release updates that brick Microsoft computers every sodding week. This isn't new. It's just the scale of it was huge. But that's because CrowdStrike got a monopoly. But yeah, no, thankfully, I was busy on Friday and I was helping out with some of the other businesses. But my personal one wasn't. But it was some of the other businesses were.
My fallout from the CrowdStrike thing it's quite simple. I couldn't buy a car parking ticket or a train ticket to go into London on Friday. Really annoying. Okay. I had to go to the bloody desk and ask them, "Can I have a ticket, please?"
Well, you went into London. I would have gone, "Nah, mate, everything's down. I can't be asked."
No, I it was one of those where I had to go. I'd have upset about 20 people, so I had to go. So yeah, so last week, an assassination. This week, global computer issue. Yeah. I have no idea what's going to be next week. I imagine some kind of freak weather.
Well, there is a tropical storm bearing down on us.
Oh, but you're on your part of the world. It doesn't count.
This is a significant one. But I don't know whether it will actually... I think we're going to get the offside of it because at the moment it's sort of bearing down on the top half of Vietnam. So I think we'll probably get the sort of off tail of it. So I don't think it will be as serious here. But yeah, tropical storms. Yeah. You know.
Okay. All right. Just a quick rundown of what we're going to be talking about. We've got some Acolyte news, which will keep Biff happy because did you watch the finale?
I did. For shits and giggles.
What's wrong with you?
I downloaded it because I didn't want to give Disney the viewing figures. I didn't watch it until yesterday, actually. I couldn't bring myself to watch it till yesterday. I did watch it because I had to see what everybody was talking about. Yeah. We'll get into it. Yeah.
Yeah. We got that. We got Marvel's Phase 4 Heroes and Avengers next flick, which is set to be an absolute disaster. It looks like the off-brand Avengers. You know when you get like the Tesco value like biscuits or yogurts or something, and it's just got a really basic package on with Tesco's value written on. That's what the new Avengers film's going to look like. Viggo Mortensen's got some franchise philosophy. We've got the Deadpool Wolverine Trailer Breakdown. I think we'll talk about. Do you want to watch it first and then talk about the news article, or do you want to?
I know I sent you the
Go
news
straight into
article, but I can't remember the one. Last one that I sent you.
Okay. All right.
I think. Oh no, we can watch the trailer and then talk about the news article.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then we've got Cobra Kai to talk about because that was out this week, which was a complete surprise. My wife knew and I didn't, which I feel very kind of not doing it right. The Boys with their very poorly timed finale, which wasn't their fault, it just happened. And then we're going to talk about Return of the King's extended edition, which went on for what felt like days.
4 hours, 23 minutes.
23 minutes?
4 hours and 23 minutes, but the end credits are about 23 minutes, so 4 hours.
4 hours, okay, good. Because I got to the titles and went, no, if this is like a Marvel stinger at the end, I'm Sauron. Someone goes into the lava and picks up the ring and puts it on. I wouldn't be surprised.
I will lay some knowledge on you for that one, because I'll give you some knowledge about the ending, because there was something that wasn't in the ending of the film, but that it is real. So it might make you feel a little bit better about the ending of that. Anyway, let's get into the first news story. Good sir.
Oh God, yeah. Hang on. Let's have a.
Hi, this is Nigel, and I'm talking in my lovely narrator's voice. Bask in its loveliness. But don't bask for too long. We need your help. Come to YouTube and watch our videos for the love of God. Well, send Keith round to your next barbecue and he'll eat all your food. Toasty! You have been warned.
So, oh my God, I thought I had that set up clearly. Oh my, what has Bounding in Comics got up here? What's this big old chunk of empty white space?
Doesn't
I have no idea.
It's an advert. Refresh your screen.
Oh God.
But no. I mean, the headline says it all.
Okay, it's an advert, but it seems to be taken. Right, bollocks. Bye-bye. Sorry, Bandit Comics. I usually like to show the article to indicate it exists. In a recent interview, the Acolyte showrunner Leslye Headland has expressed her confidence that the final fight scene of the Star Wars series will surpass iconic duels from The Phantom Menace, The Matrix, featuring a high-stake battle between Sith Quimri Mani Jacinto and Jedi Master Soul Lee Jung Jae, if I've said that right. This showdown is described as a dramatic clash fueled by romantic parental tensions set against the eerie Brendok ruins. There's a thing I saw on Twitter. I need to go and just pop onto Twitter and see if I can find this clip where someone has put in, it's just like laughed or coughed or something, because wire work is great, but it only works when you have the perception of gravity, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so when you feel that gravity, and if it's too slow, it doesn't feel very like it's got gravity. It feels like you get those Chinese operas where they're doing all the wire work and stuff. I don't know what they call them.
Wire work has no business being in Star Wars, right? Look, don't get me wrong. Wire work in things like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, The Matrix was awesome, but it totally takes you out of the scene. Now, look, the one thing I will say about the Acolyte, and it's the only positive thing that I will say about it, is it's the best lightsaber dueling in any of the Disney Star Wars era, right? That I will say that, but it's not a fucking, it's not even scratching the arse of the Phantom Menace's Darth Maul, and it's not even scratching the arse of that. This woman's head is so far up her own arse. To say that is unbelievably disrespectful. Actually, it's nowhere near as good. I mean, objectively, it's bad. The wire work is clunky. It does not fit in the Star Wars universe. It just doesn't. When have you ever seen a Jedi go like that, or fly back softly, freaking Crouching Tiger style? It doesn't belong. It was really jarring in what was actually a reasonable lightsaber battle. and then to have them fall back off this bridge, it was just fucking, it was good. And it doesn't have any. It just it wasn't good. Yeah, Master Squid Game. They never.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk about more about the Acolyte, but this silly cow, Leslye Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former assistant, she's on cloud cuckoo land. If she thinks this was as good as anything in the Matrix, it was dreadful compared to that.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know if we can show a clip. I don't know if there's a clip.
I want to see if I can find the clip while while you're chatting away there. But I haven't been on Twitter so fucking long. Pardon my language. It's signed me out, and I'm having to verify everything.
I don't know.
And I can't remember what the password was.
42.
I'll leave it. I can't find it, but I'll see if I can find it. See if it exists on YouTube. But so I saw it, and it's something that can be fixed with a bit of editing. With editing, you could make that seem a lot more. Editing and some really kind of like visceral noises, like when they land, you just make an almighty crunch, like a car has hit the ground or something, to give it a bit of extra weight to it. You know what I mean? Make it more exciting. But I've seen everyone react to this, and I've not watched it at all. Yeah, and it looks and sounds just so shit.
Oh, it is shit. Don't get me wrong, the Acolyte has been terrible. And they're all patting themselves on the back because they killed everybody off. Like, literally, the only people that survive the Acolyte of any of the main characters, spoilers people, are the two really obnoxious sisters who are one really obnoxious actress who, as kids, don't look like each other. I mean, right, if you're gonna have, right, one actress playing two parts, why don't you try, basically cast a younger version of a girl that looks like her, also having placed two parts? Why you do not cast two non-identical twins, right, to play younger versions of elder identical twins? That's how fucking dumb this show is. I mean,
do you know
seriously, how the fuck does Leslye Headland get up in the morning?
Oh, I imagine she gets up very well, considering she's probably got a good chunk of the budget.
Oh, she's probably sitting on 100 million of the 180 million, because this series only probably cost about that. I mean, it's just Jesus.
It's apparently the new series of Doctor Who cost a lot, and everyone's go, oh, it looks like it costs a lot, and it's like, I don't know, that's just your general. That's it, upscaling to 4K. That's what you're seeing there. I'm struggling because in my head, yeah. When we were kids, yeah, TV series would be cancelled left, right, and fucking centre halfway through seasons. So, example, Firefly. Firefly is a fantastic TV series. Absolutely brilliant TV series, yeah? It got, 6, maybe 8 episodes in and cancelled?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how? Because streaming's changed the rules, yeah? Because before we had like network TV, now we've got streaming. So the bar to keep a series going is lower than it was before. Before you'd have to have at least X amount of people watching it so they could sell the ads, so they could make the money, pay the budget back, blah, blah, blah. Get enough then to get full syndication, get repeats, and then make your money off the royalties for the repeats, yeah? No royalties for repeats for streaming. And the bar is just so bloody low. I don't get it. I'm struggling to do that. And then, didn't they put Darth Plagueis in it too?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. They're defining a corpse that hasn't even been a corpse yet.
Darth Plagueis is in it, looking out on the cave on the island. God knows where he's been hiding. No mention of him. I swear to if I was a betting man, I'd say that was filmed a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I do.
The Lucasfilm is so out of touch with its fan base that I think it went, oh shit, we better do this to mend the canon. They'll be fine with that. They'll love that shit. Nope. It doesn't just have Darth Plagueis in it. It has Yoda at the end, although he doesn't say anything. You just see the back of his head. But Yoda's there.
The back of Yoda's head.
Yeah. And, you know, Leslye Headland's wife is, you know, the character is just totally fucking stupid, evil. You have OSHA's, because they don't even know how lightsabers go red, right? But literally, OSHA kills, like, spoilers, OSHA kills Master Soul, right? Or Master Squid Games, and she ignites the lightsaber and it's blue and then it goes red. Like, while it's ignited. It's like... And you're smacking your head against a brick wall with this series. It's done. You know, it kind of made the Jedi the bad guys. You know, Spiky Bitch was nowhere to be seen. We're putting Plagueis in, so Spiky Bitch escaped, and you know they've left it all open for a season 2. If this thing gets a season 2, if I was
there
a
is
Disney
no
shareholder,
justice in the universe.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, there's probably is no justice in the universe, but
there's got to be something. I mean, at some point, surely, if you're a Disney, unless you're all living in that Californian bubble, surely there's somebody out there that's invested enough that can go to this meeting and go, where the fuck did this 180 million go? You know, excuse the dumb writing, excuse all that. I mean, Star Trek Discovery fucking has dumb writing, right? But probably the most egregious thing is that something really dodgy has gone on with the budget here. I mean, there's no way this series cost $180 million. Just no way.
if they paid for 3 series at once for 180 million, that'd make more sense.
That's my only, you know, that they haven't announced it, but that they've already paid and commissioned a season 2. If it gets a season 2, it's not going to get the same negative people viewing it because they're just not going to bother reviewing it again. It's just not going to get the viewers.
It's shite.
I mean, I don't know what's the next thing to come from them. Either it's going to be the Skeleton Crew, which I know nothing about, right? Or it's going to be Andor season 2.
Oh no, it's Skeleton Crew. It's the one with is the Skeleton Crew one with Judd Law in it.
Yeah,
Jude Law. Sorry, Judd Law. I was thinking Judd Nelson from Breakfast Club for a moment. Okay, all right. Let's move on to our next story.
You're listening to the Monkey Nut Punch podcast.
Marvel Studio boss Kevin Feige has recently shared some significant updates regarding the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In an interview with Gizmondo, Feige, whatever his name is, revealed that all Phase 4 heroes will appear in the upcoming Avengers film Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars. With a vast roster of characters introduced in Phase 4, Feige will acknowledges that tough choices will have to be made, which heroes will make the cut. Oh, I said not all. I said all, didn't I? Not all. Sorry. Oopsies.
Is there any Phase 4 heroes that can be in it? I mean, you could put Shuri in it because she was in the original Endgame one, so you could bring her back.
With Monica Rambeau.
She's on another universe.
But, my favourite, the one we had an argument over, Shang-Chi.
Won't be in it.
America Chavez.
Definitely won't be in it.
Kate Bishop.
Well, they did have her at the end of the Marvels. So okay. I personally think it's going to be Miss Marvel because despite the actress is quite likable. Yeah,
she is. So is Hayley Watson, she played Kate Bishop. They're quite nice people to see in interviews. They haven't done anything stupid yet, but it's Hollywood. It might be a matter of time. But at the moment, I can't. What's the point of having Avengers? You got rid of all the Avengers. Seriously, you got rid of all the Avengers.
Well, there is still a persistent rumor doing the rounds that they have thrown a lot of money at Robert Downey Jr. I said, this is the way you save the cinematic universe. You take that $180 million that you've just spent on the Acolyte, you give it to Robert Downey Jr. and go, come back, please. Bump. Cinemas full, $1 billion movie. It is that fucking simple.
It's not that simple. There are a lot of people being burnt by this whole thing.
Robert Downey,
you need at least 2 films in front of it that people watch and go, "It's okay. We might get one, but that's from Fox."
Mate. Avengers: Secret Wars, or whatever they're calling it, right? You put a trailer out in a couple of weeks' time. Iron Man lands, fucking thing goes up. Robert Downey Jr., I'm back. Guarantee you, every motherfucker will go and watch that movie. Guarantee you it. It's all you have to do. Trust me, it will work, right? And then have Cap appear behind him. Bump. Every motherfucker will go and watch that film.
Do you know what I'd do? I would do it like none of them died at the end of Endgame, yeah? And I'd have the whole film carry on like a normal Avengers film. And it gets to the end, and then Stephen Strange turns up from the MCU, and he's like, "Oh, you all survived." And you could have Deadpool in it, you could put the X-Men in it, you could reset the entire bloody universe and just think, fuck it,
you could have
up so badly.
Deadpool reset the entire fucking thing at the end of this movie, and people would buy it. I mean, Deadpool is lining up, and we'll talk about it more in a minute, is lining up to be probably one of the most successful. Early ticket sales are really, really good on it. But I'm not going to lie, I kind of liked the Miss Marvel series on Disney Plus because I liked the actress. It wasn't perfect. There was some really stupid shit in it, but it was the least egregious of the Disney Plus shows, in my opinion, right? The Marvels, I actually finally saw that. The thing that really sucks about that film is the bad guy. The actress is just terrible. And that was the worst thing about that film.
I think they should have replaced her with Judi Dench.
Yeah, that would have been a better baddie.
That would should have. You think I'm joking? Judi Dench would have done a brilliant fucking bad guy. Seriously,
no,
she would have done an absolutely brilliant bad guy. You could have just swapped her out with the stunt person, put a CGI face on them when they're fighting.
But actually, putting that young actress in there, I mean, Monica Rambeau was just Monica Rambeau, and the character hasn't really earned a part. But her and Captain Marvel did kind of work on screen, and actually, I think there are worse Marvel movies out there than the Marvels. I actually think Ant-Man and Quantumania was worse in so many ways. It was worse.
The first thing that always gets me about Ant-Man and Quantumania is it looks visually like vomit.
Yeah.
It looks, the backgrounds, everything just looks like vomit. The characters look like that someone has eaten a fucking muscle man and thrown him up, or a monster in your pocket and thrown that up, with the sick still on it and the bits of carrot. It was. I like the thing. I told you this before when I watched it. I was so annoyed because I'm one of the people who actually liked Ant-Man, and one of the things I really liked in it was the relationship that Ant-Man had with his daughter. It was lovely. It was really wholesome, and that was something that I always felt kind of. It had the heart of the whole movie. In this, they turned her into an obnoxious, protesting, fucking college douchebag. Yeah. And it was just like, you've ruined the one thing I really liked about those Ant-Man films. And I'm annoyed because I like nice things in my film. It sounds weird to say. I like nice things in my film. Yeah, it's like kind of little things that make things right. So it's like we'll talk about Cobra Kai later, but there are little bits in Cobra Kai that you watch which are nice things, where people are looking out for each other and people are trying to do the best for one another. That sort of thing. Yeah, and those are nice things or clever things. Yeah, I like that. I appreciate those in films, and they removed all of that from Ant-Man, and then they made it look like visual vomit and a story that made no fucking sense. All they had to do, if they wanted it to make sense, was you had Kang at the end of that film. He gets pulled into that thing, didn't kill him, it sent him to the Council of Kangs, and then he annihilates all of them, and it's just him left. There you go, you set the bad guy up. But you didn't do that. because you're fucking stupid. It was an easy thing. They kept him there because he was dangerous. Comes at I managed to get out. Not exactly the plan, but now I've got an opportunity to erase all you motherfuckers. Takes them all out. He's now set up as a bad guy. They couldn't even do that. That's the bit that gets me. It was like kind of, no, you need to set up one bad guy. And it's annoying because the next bad guy on the list should be Doctor fucking Doom. But I can't do that. And I get annoyed about the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. I dipped out after Guardians.
I agree with you. You see, to me, the Marvels is held as the worst Marvel movie. It's not. It did not produce anger in me. I went, look, the bad guy is shit, and the actress is fucking terrible. But actually, there are moments in the Marvels that are all right. But when you watch something like Doctor Strange, I was going to mention the two movies that I find egregious, the ones that make me angry, are Ant-Man for pretty much everything you just said, because I agree with everything you just said, and Doctor Strange, because I really fucking loved the first Doctor Strange movie.
Oh yeah, and they forgot. They forgot that they set Baron Mordo up as the fucking bad guy. That got on my tits. Because it's like, dude, what's his name? The actor who plays Baron Mordo, he was in Serenity, he was in Kinky Boots, he was in 12 Years a Slave. He's a fucking great actor. And you pissed that away. That got on my... Alright, great, on my only surviving nerve there.
So, I mean, I know this goes against the internet thing of the Marvels was just this egregious, terrible movie. It's not a good movie, but it's not egregious like these other ones have come. And then Fantastic Four coming. And what I don't understand is what the fuck are they doing with the Fantastic Four, setting it in the 60s in an alternate universe?
I don't get that.
Fuck?
I don't get that. As I said, that what they should have done is maybe they should just reboot the whole universe. Start off with the Fantastic Four for the whole reset, yeah? Have them go into it, build up Doctor Doom as the bad guy, then put all the other people back in there, piece by piece. I really don't know what they're fucking doing.
You could have Doctor
they don't know what they're doing.
Do a reset like they did in the Spider-Man universe, and he reset the Spider-Man universe when there was loads of people bitching and moaning about JMS's Spider-Man. Strange came along and reset the fucking universe, right? You could do that here. I mean, it's not like it's not been done in your comics already. But look, leaving out Phase 4, there's only a couple of Phase 4 people I would be interested in watching. Yes, there. What's her face? Haley. What's her face as like?
Haley Atwell, just because she's got massive norks.
Well, but Haley Atwell's awesome.
That's why you want Haley Atwell there.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I don't mind her. Yeah. There's the female Hawkeye and Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I have to say I hate the Miss Marvel character, but the actress who plays her seems to understand that you kind of want the fans on your side, sort of thing. She's not stupid. I like that. Whoever's coaching her or making her go through these things to make sure, and I'm hoping it's genuine. It seems genuine, but she's an actor. For crying out loud. That's what they do.
I think it is, but yeah. Anyway, bleh.
What's next? A word's too much for you? Then you should follow us on Instagram. We put pretty pictures out. Thanks. In a recent interview with Vanity Fair, Viggo Mortensen, known as Aragorn in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, explained why he hasn't appeared in any other major film franchises since. Mortensen revealed that his decision isn't due to a lack of interest, but rather because he finds most franchise projects to be poorly written and predictable. He emphasizes his preference for compelling stories as well as well-developed characters over big-budget productions. And if you look at his body of work, it reflects that.
Yep.
It really does reflect that. Seriously, I look at the films that is in like History of Violence and stuff like that. That's all character-driven. He's in none of these kind of Marvel, none of these DC things, not Star Wars or anything like that. He goes for what he thinks a good story is. He is fixed in everyone's imagination as Aragorn. Same way Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter, the same way Mark Hamill is Luke Skywalker. He is Aragorn, and we love him for it. And you know, I think he is a discerning actor who chooses his roles wisely, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You see, I watched Green Book the other day, and I did not see Aragorn once in that. I mean, he is a very, very talented character actor, and he plays this Italian American with links to the mafia, but trying to keep them at arm's length and not really wanting to get involved in that kind of thing. But he has the accent down to a T, the mannerisms there. Not once do I even hear Aragorn. And that's the mark of a really talented character actor.
Like Mark Rylance, he's another one. That man's a fucking chameleon. He really is.
Yeah,
Everything I see in he's playing a different bloody part, and I believe him 100%. Yeah, and it was. I think I saw an interview with Michael Caine where the first best piece of acting advice he ever got was, he was supposed to be playing a drunk character, and the guy, the instructor in the class went, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm pretending to be drunk." He goes, "No. Your character is drunk. He's pretending to be sober. You need to be this person pretending to be sober, not an actor pretending to be drunk." And it's like that with these kind of people. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I know what you're saying, Viggo Mortensen. People will always remember him as Aragorn, but
Nothing wrong with that.
But he's a damn good character actor, and I really enjoyed Green Book. Actually, I thought it was a really good film. And it's the dude that was lined up to play Blade in the Marvel Universe, as you know, plays alongside him. And I mean, it's a true story.
Is this the one where he's the chauffeur for like a jazz musician or something?
Yeah, and it's a really good film. I highly recommend it. It's a watchable. It's just a good film with a good ending. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and it made me smile at the end of the film, and I really enjoyed both actors in it. And I didn't want to see Aragorn, which again, as I said, it's a mark of a very good actor. So yeah, I've got to see this. Hang on, I'm going to report to a comment. Biffer, I've got to watch that film because I haven't seen that one. I've seen a lot of the films on this, but I haven't seen the Viggo Mortensen one yet, or have I? It's such a good character actor, I probably didn't notice it was Viggo Mortensen. Because we obviously have a sort of personal connection a little bit to that for that incident and the films around it. So yes. Anyway, good for him. I mean, the guy clearly has integrity. And why would he star in any of these modern franchises right now? There hasn't been a good modern trilogy of films other than the earlier Marvel films since Lord of the Rings. And you wouldn't want to star in a Marvel film right now, would you? Nor a Star Wars film, nor anything else. But Lord of the Rings is coming back. Peter Jackson is making a movie right about round when Aragorn is alive, so you never know.
Hobbit, longer than need to be, 2 films maxed.
I know.
And that you just saying.
I know.
Did have Stephen Fry in it though, which is an up. That's the corrupt thingy, which I really enjoyed.
There is good things to say about The Hobbit, but it was one movie too long. I mean, I had Billy Connolly in it. Fucking Billy Connolly was awesome. In The Hobbit, but the films are too long. It's 2 minutes. It should have been 2 movies. Especially when you rewatch Lord of the Rings, there is a difference. And I know you might be right. I hope this is Peter Jackson coming back because he was so fucking angered by Rings of Power. He went, "Fuck this! I'm coming back and doing it properly."
I'm gonna show you it's done properly. So annoying because when Moffat was running Doctor Who, Peter Jackson says, I will write and direct an episode of Doctor Who for the price of one Dalek. And do you know what the funny thing was? He got a Dalek. Didn't get an episode though, did we?
No.
Peter. Go on. Alright, so next one.
I wonder if it's loaded.
Sorry. I love the IT crowd. Alright, so Deadpool Wolverine final trailer. Next week. I'm gonna go and book my tickets after this because I need to do it. It's 15, so my son can go and watch it. I need to check what rating Alien Romulus is so I can take and go see that too. Alien Romulus was supposed to be his first 15 film, but it's going to be Deadpool Wolverine. Shame. Anyway, let's. I don't know if I've seen this trailer, so first time reacting. So it'll be play, pause. You have to excuse us for that.
I know I turn everything into a joke, but I care. I want to use that for something important.
Notice the background here. Look. Can you see what's behind him? Do you get what that is?
Yes, this is 20th Century Fox. Like I saw it in the previous one, Keith.
Yeah, I never noticed that until now.
I waited a long time for this team up. In my world, you're well regarded. You were an X-Man. Fuck that, you were the X-Man. The Wolverine. He's a hero in my world.
Yeah, well, he ain't shit in mine.
Scott used to beg me to wear this suit. So did Storm and Beast. But I couldn't have him thinking I wanted to be there. It was too late. It's only 9 people, but my entire world is right here in this picture.
I like that. I'll tell you what.
I have no idea how to save it alone, but you know how to save it.
Whoever you think I am. You got the wrong guy.
There you go. What's so much? Sorry, I had to. I'm glad I didn't have Madonna playing because I could play it.
You
bit
were always
longer.
the wrong guy.
Weapon X got.
Till you weren't.
Are you ready? Fuck yeah, I'm ready.
I'm the Wolverine. Stop it.
Do you think they met Spider-Man? That's after they met Spider-Man, isn't it?
I think Tobey Maguire. I'm calling it. I think it's Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in it, and I'm down with that if it is. I don't think it's going to be what's the face of Spider-Man. I think it's going to be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man because we know he was lined up for a film, and I bet you it's this. I know Patrick Stewart's in it, right? So I know that. The only thing I'll say about this trailer is it's not a Deadpool trailer. There's moments of Deadpool being funny, but it's a much more super serious trailer.
I've got a weird feeling that because it's Deadpool Wolverine, half of it is going to be Deadpool humor, and other half of it's going to be like Logan serious, if that makes any sense. Which would make it sounds odd. That makes certain comedic bits land better, if that makes any sense.
No,
because
I
of
agree
the contrast.
with you.
I don't know.
I am cautiously optimistic about this film. Purely because of what could be in it. This could be in. It's not going to be on the same level, but it could be in that territory of Spider-Man 3 if it's done right.
I got a feeling it's going to be in that. I think it's going to be in that bracket. I really do. I think that's what that's what we're going to get, because it sounds odd. Yeah, we talk about all these multiverse films. Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home did it right. Yeah? I think this is going to do it right, and I think everyone else is just going to do it fucking wrong. Oh, I have to lower my fucking expectations, because if I don't, I'll get upset.
Deadpool Wolverine Surprise Woman, put a chick in it and make it lame. Sorry, I'm reading Biff's comments and I know we've got to do it, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I know who Lady Deadpool is.
You think Lacey's his wife?
Yeah.
It's Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Blake Lively? Yeah, it is his wife.
I'm really not fucking complaining if it is. I'm really not complaining.
It's what you call it. Hang on a second. It's not there because they're putting a chick in it and making her gay. It's putting a chick in it because it's a cheap fucking joke. And what's his mush gets a power thing. So I want to know what the fuck this is. So that.
But it looks like the same fucking thing that was in Loki season 2. So.
Oh, I didn't watch Loki's Pokey season 2. Where is
Weapon X got fit.
Oh, there we go. Where is it? There.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it works. I love the fact they've been on tour with the dog as well. And I love that. It's like, this is the most ugliest dog. And Ryan Reynolds goes, we love her. I love them.
Yeah, it's...
I am genuinely looking forward to this. It's just, what we're going to get. Are we going to get, like, X-Men? Are we going to get... we've already got some of the old school X-Men in it. So we're going to get fucking Storm. We're going to, aren't we? We've got to get it.
It's funny because I saw an interview with Hugh Jackman and he turned around and he went, I first played the Wolverine part and people said about the costume and they said, no, you wear the black leather. So I always had the impression that was always the way to go. Yeah? And then it goes, I put the costume on and I went, oh no, this actually works. Because I watched the other Marvel films and they were like their characters and they were bright and colourful and they stuck out. And now I see that like this, I'm like, oh yeah, I should have worn this. But hey,
if this is done right, this stands to be one of the best. If it's done right,
I think the fact that Disney's probably got the least influence on this is a really good sign. They've got some influence, but not as much as they would like. Yeah, it's. That. So let's move on to our next bit, which was this will make more sense now. In exciting news for Marvel fans, the final Deadpool Wolverine trailer has been released. Firstly, Lady Deadpool makes an appearance. Secondly, Dafne Keen is set to reprise her role as X-23. This revelation marks a reunion with Logan co-star Hugh Jackman, who has returned to different iterations of Wolverine, despite previous denials that Keen's cameo has been confirmed, bringing anticipation to the thrilling dynamic of the new film.
See that the fact that she's in it, and what you said about the Logan side of it, I think you might be right, and I think that's why she's there. And again, I am down for that. As much as she was, wasn't her fault. She was still the best fighter in the Acolyte. She is actually a very talented actress, and she was very, very fucking good in Logan.
From what I've heard in the Acolyte, the guy who plays Smilo Ren, as they call him, people regard him as a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's weird because when I look at the Force Awakens and Last Jedi and whatnot, I don't blame any of the actors in that film for the state of those films. It's a really weird thing to say because before, when we had the poor fucker who played Jar Jar Binks, because that was a terrible fun character. We shouldn't have blamed him. We should have changed George Lucas for that because that was a very stupid shit idea. and the one who played young Anakin Skywalker. Again, I don't think it was very good casting, and also it would have made sense if he'd have been 12, 13 rather than what he was, and you could have done a bit more with him being that age too, and he would have been the same age as Queen fucking Amidala without it looking weird further down the line, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it's it's interesting. But there's a rumor that Taylor Swift might be Lady Deadpool.
I've heard that's been undone, but I will be annoyed if it is because I can't stand Taylor Swift. Sorry, people, I'm not a Swiftie.
What's it? You know what would be funny is if he has the voice of Blake Lively and you think it's Blake Lively and then she pulls the mask up and it's Taylor Swift and that's the joke.
I'll give
that
it
could
that.
work.
I mean, you know, you had Brad Pitt as the Invisible Man, didn't you, in the last
Vanisher.
Deadpool movie? Yeah, that was quite a funny
I'm
joke.
going to put Brad Pitt in it for one frame. That was absolutely brilliant. Oh, please be good. Please be good.
I know.
I think it's going to be good. I think out of all the Marvel films, this is also out of all the superhero films, this is the only one that's got any potential because it's from the mind of fucking Ryan Reynolds and he wants to entertain and he kind of sticks away from all the stupid shit.
And he genuinely likes the character of Deadpool. So, yeah, look, I think I'm cautiously optimistic about this film. I'm hoping that this time next week we're going to be sitting and going, that was fucking awesome.
Yes. I'm hoping I can get tickets to see it. I need to go and sort of talk to the missus and book them straight away after this. All right. Let's stop the screen share.
I think we should do the comments quickly.
Let's put the music on. Right, I haven't looked at any of these comments. So, Chuck, gold star for being first. Mrs. Sorry, you get silver star this week. And Biffa gets a bronze star. Why would you do that to yourself?
Why?
They
enjoyed it.
They enjoyed it.
Although I
was
think
affected.
I think they enjoyed it for different reasons. Not that Chuck will admit it. Yeah.
That's
you know what I'm talking about.
Now I get you. That's fine. You can see my earlobes now. Yeah. Steve! Hello, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Easy fix for the IT. Stu just stopped using Windows. That's CrowdStrike, sorry. We'll get a nice hi from Laurie. Hi, Laurie. Keith, wave.
Hi. Sorry. Blow me nose. I apologise.
Everyone's saying hi to each other. So, yes. London. I don't go to the exciting part of London, I'm afraid. Sometimes I get to go to exciting parts of London. I might go to Threadneedle Street one day, but... So what we've got, add tornado warnings for the freak weather. So, yeah, next week, tornado. Maybe
they
not
have
yet.
had one where he was, which is unusual. So, no, we were
What,
talking about it yesterday.
in upstate New York?
Upstate New York, I believe so,
Upstate New York?
North New York.
North New York. They're going to sit there in a
coming.
northern accent. No, that's for after Trump wins president. He'll start getting things fixed, and then there won't people like it, then be global pandemic. Just say no to viruses. Okay, I'll stand down now. Fair enough. Open let to Disney. Don't mess up Deadpool 3. Oh, please don't. Please. Oh!
Yeah.
Ooh! And I must go and see
Yeah.
Twisters.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to go and
Yes.
see it as well.
I told you about the in Disneyland Paris. Was it Disneyland Paris? No, Disneyland Paris had the Armageddon one. It was Universal. Was it Universal? Or was it Disney? Hollywood Studios had the Twister experience, which was fantastic. Yeah. My music's going a bit weird there. Master Squid Games can never make me hate you. No, he's fine.
No, he's talking about what he says when when she's force choking him. Yes.
do you know what the funny thing is? I've got a great gag for that force choke. Yeah, so you see, hang on. Oh, fuck it. There's one thing about this camera now that I have to be careful because if I touch my face, its focus drops out. You just want to hear zip when they're getting force choked. Enough said. Yeah, Firefly was great, and yeah, they got Serenity, which was good. And that actor, I can't remember his name now. He was fantastic. There's a funny thing about commies in the States and in the Western world. They love money. Free Williams. I think this is... Yeah, anyway. Next Avengers... Right, hang on. Shuri, Black Panther, Ironheart, Ant-Man's daughter, Black Widow, Sister Yolanda, and female Hawkeye. Yep, and it's going to be crap.
That was the original lineup, but I don't believe it is anymore.
Yeah, because someone told them somewhere that might be a really bad idea. Do you want to do something, Disney? Bin Parrot Analytics, they're shit. Go straight for the fucking money in the book. Yeah, you want to measure that. Viggo Mortensen was great in the boys soccer team Thai cave movie.
Yeah, he was in
What's
one.
that
I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay.
Well, have I? I just didn't notice it was Viggo. I think I might have seen it. Is that the one? Is that the movie that also had the dude that was in the recent Apple TV series that we were watching? What was it we were watching?
Dark Matter.
Dark Matter. Is that the same Thai cable? I'm gonna have to look this up now because it's bugging.
Yeah, go look it up.
Seen it.
Chuck is doing self-promotion again. I think my missus went through all your Iceland videos the other day. I still think it was mean that you filmed Laurie messing up her Icelandic phrases and we never got to see you, Chuck. I don't think that was very fair. Best thing about watching movies is seeing the best cinematic shots and figuring out how to do them myself. Hey, if that's what inspires you, that's a good thing. What was it? So, watch Madam Web on Netflix now. Didn't think it was too bad. Yeah, and I'll have to watch it if I got a chance.
I think I did see that. Do you know what? I think I did see this film. 13 Lives. I think I did see this film. I just never forgot that it was Viggo Mortensen in it.
Ah.
Jesus. Wow.
Okay. So
yeah, it is. Yeah. Wow. That's how good an actor he is. Huh. There you go. I've seen 13
Alright,
Lives.
so I'm assuming the villain in Madam Web drove a C5 Corvette, so you can be the villain. No, you need an English accent to be the villain. Everybody knows that. It's quite simple. I've got a lull from him. Deadpool Wolverine surprise woman put a chick in it, make it lame. No, I think it will be fine. They've got the chick in it is the bad guy. And knowing Deadpool, she'll die gruesomely, which is good. Hot chicks and sci-fi, Chuck approved. There is something that they do in science fiction with birds that they don't do in other things. Please see films like The Matrix and Barbarella and other things, which I won't do.
Sydney Sweeney is in the remake of Barbarella.
Is she? Is she Barbarella? Okay.
Now we all know how that film fucking started.
Anyway, Twister Experience yeah, it was Universal. Okay, it was Universal Studios Florida. They got rid of it though. I can't remember what they replaced it with, which is the bit that gets me. So yeah, and it's like the OD Twister Experience. It was quite cool because they actually managed to get a Twister in the room with you, which was fantastic. So a little kind of like dust funnely sort of thing. That was cool. Back in the 90s. I still have the When Cows Fly mug. Anyway, I think we should dial the comments down. Barbarella remake, sweet. So, what would you like to talk about? Would you like to talk... We'll end with Lord of the Rings. But would you like to talk about Cobra Kai? or the boys?
Shall we get the boys out of the way and then we'll talk about Cobra Kai?
Right, so, the boys. In a week where there was an attempted assassination on a presidential candidate / former president of the United States, they decided to... Well, they didn't decide to. They'd already prepared and written an episode about an assassination attempt on the president of the United States. Not their fault with timing. It's definitely not their fault with timing. It's just dumb luck. But the lovely rhetoric that you guys keep putting through, that Donald Trump is anything but a bloviating blowhard, rather than he's the fucking devil and we should kill him, because that's what they're doing on TV and stuff. Be it fucking Whoopi Goldberg on The View, and then you watch like CNN and just dumb fucks say dumb things constantly about him, which gets on my tits, because he's not. If you look at him, he wants what's best. He's a braggart. He's arrogant. Yep, it's fine. But I don't think he's evil. I don't think Joe Biden's evil either. I think Joe Biden needs to fucking retire and sit in a rocking chair
I think
bench,
comparing him, without going down the political side, I think comparing him to Nazis and Hitler is just dumb as fuck. But I mean, in this episode, this is the problem with the boys. It is comparing. It's too on the nose at times. I mean, this episode, I found the whole fucking tentacle thing coming out of Butcher a bit. I don't know. I don't want Butcher to have that kind of weird super hero like power. It was a bit, I don't know, unsettling.
Yeah, it was. Sorry. Only briefly to set the scene, if that makes any sense. All right? Trying to sit there and say, you know, people being people. They have different opinions, this, that, and the other.
What we're saying is the boys has been very on the nose with real life politics, and it keeps comparing Trump supporters to supporters of what's his face, Homelander in this, and Homelander is evil and is, you know, kills people, rips people apart, kills for fun, and the fact is that this is a problem because you don't have to like Donald Trump. What he is not is a homicidal killer, and this is what the boys keeps doing. And this episode was kind of even more on the nose because it did have an assassination attempt, and the vice president was unceremoniously ripped apart. There were moments in this I liked, but it wasn't my favorite episode of the season. I was kind of a bit meh about it.
Right, I love the whole thing with Frenchie being gay, and then all of a sudden he's into Kamiko like he's supposed to be in the comics. But he says he loves her at the wrong point, because in the comics he never says that until he gets blown up by Butcher. It's like, oh, I can't fucking escape this. Let Frenchie be Frenchie with the virus and stuff, which was cool. I really appreciate that. The thing that they done with what do you call it, Butcher, was it made him like Venom.
Yeah.
With the split personality thing. I liked the fact that you had I can't remember that actor's name now. Oh, he's been in so many fucking things.
Yes,
Negan and Thingy.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
I liked the fact that he had him as like his personality bit. And if you know anything about the comics, it is going for the Supes overthrowing the government. But there's some bits they miss out in the comics, like the boys have a version of Compound V that gives them super strength and durability so they don't get killed by the Supes one-off. And what do you call it? And not all the Supes are as invulnerable as Homelander is. Yeah. And the US government has this missile system that can home in on Compound V, so they can fire missiles at them. And they haven't got that. They haven't set that up yet because they'll need that for the end. It's like, well, you got all these superheroes around. What are you going to do? And it's like, well, we've got this missile battery. So they're missing out lots of kind of cool bits like that from from the comics. I'm gonna have to go back and read it again. It's a bit more. There's a bit more shagging in the comics. Seriously, I think it gets to I think it's like 8 pages in, Butcher's shagging because Mallory's a dude. Mallory's secretary in it, and they don't have the dog, the Terror, in it. Got pictures of him. It's annoying because I like bits of it, and out of all the kind of stuff that goes kind of wokey and political, and it's maybe sacrilege, I find this more tolerable. I don't know why. I think it's because the characters, and I've grown to...
It's because it's already pre-established, and it's only in this season that it has been so on the nose. And
Do you know what it's weird because previous seasons they would balance it out. They would try to balance it out.
But the previous season was written quite a long time ago, and I think this season was written a year or so ago, when and then it got delayed because of everything. So this was reacting to the political situation at the time and the storming of the Capitol and all that crap. But because it's pre-established, you forgive it because you like the characters. You're already invested in the characters, and what season 1 did do a good job of was setting up the characters. If you had just come into this, you'd switch off.
Yeah.
Because it's too on the nose. And I actually find it highly insulting in some ways to people. I don't want to get political because I don't want to really talk about politics. But what to compare Homelander people and be so blatant about it to Trump supporters is just wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what the show does, and that's the problem. Going back into the show and out of the politics side of thing, there were moments I did like, although again, Frenchie not being gay all of a sudden, which he never really was. So Frenchie finally sort of, going with Kamiko, and then Kamiko finally speaking when Frenchie's sort of, been taken over by that girl from the school uni TV series. She, that was quite a powerful moment. They're setting up one final season. I almost wish they'd gone down the comic route and killed off Homelander long ago, because they've done too much with it. But some interesting things happen. What's her face has got superpowers. We don't know what the CEO woman, English actress.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's got superpowers, but we don't know what really happened to her. We obviously know that Butcher's got superpowers now. So it's going to be interesting where it goes the final season. We don't really know what happened to Homelander's son, and Homelander's son's the only one that they're saying can kill him. How they off him, I don't know, but they have to off him. If they don't kill him at the end of this,
it's so virus is an option, and maybe Butcher's tumor ability might do it, but I don't know. It's a little. I'm hoping I'm hoping maybe they tone it down a little bit, because Eric Kripke, who's the showrunner, is fucking mental. He really is mental. He's so up his. I can't understand how people get wound up. So, like, for example, in this country, we had a guy called Jeremy Corbyn, who was the opposition leader. Yeah. Didn't like Jeremy Corbyn, but I didn't think he was a fucking devil. Didn't want him to be assassinated. Didn't want this, that, and the other. Just wanted to be beaten at the ballot box. That's it. He was. You could. There are great things that you could point to him being an absolute fucking arsehole about. Yeah. Not evil at all. Starmer, we got our new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer.
There's nothing wrong with him. He's an Arsenal supporter.
He's an Keir Starmer.
He's an Arsenal supporter.
The problem with Keir Starmer is it feels like it's the same policies just with a different person, if that makes any sense.
But at least he supports a decent football team for once.
But again, I don't want to see Keir Starmer be attacked or milkshaked or shot at or exploded or anything. I don't care. That's not what I want.
That's the problem with the boys. And it has gone like that. But
painting someone as the devil. Anyway,
Cobra Kai.
Talk about something nice. Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai.
I'm annoyed. I'm fucking getting fed up with Netflix. Like, right, Netflix, either release an episode a week, right? Do it that way. Don't release 5 episodes. Make us wait 7 fucking months or whatever it is. Not 7 months, 6 months, 5 months. 5 months for the next, 2.5 hours worth of episodes, right? And then another part next year. There's 15 episodes in this season, right?
15.
15.
So do we get 6 or 5?
But got 5 episodes. 5 episodes. So, and then the next lot are in November. And then the next lot are next year.
So we got some in November and then some at the beginning of the year.
And it's going to probably be about now. Because despite what they're saying, right, somehow this is going to have to tie into the film that's coming out, because LaRusso is going to be in the film that's also going to have Jackie Chan's one in it. And I think this whole Miyagi thing is leading to that.
All right, so my first problem with Cobra Kai is, Cobra Kai is about Johnny fucking Lawrence. That's it. Yeah. That's what drew us in. It was about Johnny Lawrence, It was about Johnny Lawrence, him getting his shit together, Him being a total fuck up because of what happened in the past and telling it from his perspective and then getting his shit together. It wasn't about Daniel LaRusso. That's the bit that's kind of getting grating on me ever so slightly. There are things in there that I like, which is good. It's like, what do you call it? What's the mush? Who's is it Devon, the little Chinese girl who wanted to get into the team, who dosed matey with laxatives? I love that. Yeah. That was great. It was like kind of, sure. And he just had the shits. That's a great way of beating an rival. Giving the shits.
You see, I like when that character, not the character that she dosed up, right? When he first turned up, you felt sympathetic for him. Then he became a total arsehole and almost became irredeemable. He's kind of redeemed himself slightly in this.
I liked how his
As your camera
what's going on there? Is it run out of battery? Yeah, it's run out of battery. I charged it.
You have to plug it in and leave it plugged in because it keeps the battery trickling over. You see, that's what I do.
All right, hold on a sec. Bear with me, I'll plug it in because I have got a plug for it.
I mean,
Sorry.
Go on.
Sorry, Kenny's brother, because Kenny's brother was talking to him, and because they get into a fight at is it golf and stuff? I think that's the place that they call it. They get into a fight there, and he turns around and says, "They could have hit you loads, but they didn't. That shows that they want what's best for you, And because I see that that arseholeness that I had, and you got to stop that." And he was genuinely looking out for him, and I that sort of. I love those sort of things where people the characters seem to care for other characters and try to give them the right advice and stuff like that. So
You see, but again with Kreese in this, they're making him a protagonist, but they're not making him outrightly bad.
Right, Kreese. I don't know what they've done. Kreese is turning into a fucking urban legend.
Yes.
He is. He's turned into an urban legend. Yeah, he got caught by the police. He managed to escape. He managed to get to Korea, and then he went deep into the jungle and fought a snake. It bit him, and then it died. It's a Chuck Norris joke, The snake bit Chuck Norris, and then the snake died. Yeah, it was that for fucking Kreese.
It was there's another Chuck Norris one. The Chuck Norris, when he goes for a swim, he doesn't get wet. The water gets Chuck Norris.
Hang on a second. Let's see if I can turn this camera. Let's see if I've got enough time to put this thing back on now.
But there you go. I enjoyed it. Look, it's a bit dumb in places.
Oh, it is.
It's cliche, and
Yeah.
it feels like the original films. And the one thing that it has done so damn well is it's kept that atmosphere from the original films throughout, and it's done it incredibly well. But they're talking about cameos. I think we're going to get Hilary Swank. I think we are going to get her. Oh, that's just fine. I'm down with that. I'm down with doing that. Embrace that film.
Yeah.
Bring it back. I like the fact they're celebrating the history of this. I just want to know how they're going to tie that into the film, because LaRusso is back in the Jackie Chan thing, which.
So the other things I liked was Johnny Lawrence and Barnes.
Yes.
They had a fight. That was great. The problem is they had to, there's bits where you could see the switching between the stunt doubles. They were fighting for certain bits, and then stunt doubles were there for other bits, which it was a bit jarring. But it was nice watching those two fight. And then there was Johnny Lawrence and Chosen, where Chosen's like kind of, I took a guy on a samurai sword. I took on 6. One had a sword, like that.
I love Chosen. I think he's one of my favorite characters in it. I love his whole. It's dumb, but I love his stick. I love it. I like Chosen a lot in this, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I watched it all yesterday, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, same here. I didn't watch it all yesterday, but I definitely enjoyed it.
It was nice TV. It wasn't particularly taxing TV. LaRusso is less annoying now, although still a bit annoying. But then, Johnny, I love Johnny. He's an idiot at times, but I love him. He means well. And that's what I like about it. And I like that they've taken all the bad guys from the Karate Kid movies and made them so much more. Kreese is not just.
Oh,
what is Kreese?
Right, hang on a second. So the actor who plays Kreese, he made that whole Vietnam backstory up. You know that, don't you? He made that up for the original Karate Kid film. And because it was never really explained to in the film, and it was just the picture of him in Vietnam with like his war buddies, him being able to play the actor must have had a while of a time, because it was something he came up with to try and flesh the character out and give him some more backstory and make it more interesting. Yeah, and him being able to play that out on TV, he must have had a fucking while of a time. Really must have.
I think you can tell that they're having fun with this. The fact you kind of don't blame Tori for her choice at the end.
So I said to the missus when we were watching it, Cobra Kai has pretty much been for like four almost 5 seasons been a story of fathers and sons. Yeah, be it Maggie to Daniel, be it Johnny to Miguel, or to Robbie, or Robbie to Danny LaRusso. Yeah, it's always been that story about fathers and sons, and I always felt that if Tori was going to get like her redemption, her fix, it would have always been Mrs. LaRusso who fixed her out, because it would then be mothers and daughters, if that makes any sense, because that's something that fits within the theming of it and would work out that. And it's the bit where she goes to do the fight, and Mrs. LaRusso gets the message from the hospital because they've been paying the bills, and she finds out that her mother died and whatnot. And then she goes to fight, and Danny's like, no, you're not supposed to fight, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, I have to fight. And Johnny's like, turning around, goes, no, you should have let her fucking fight, because when I was in the same position, when my dad died, all I wanted to do was fight. Yeah? And that's how I got through it. And goes, it was wrong for you to do it. And I can understand them butting heads over that, and Johnny having that kind of empathy for her at the same time too. And it's not fucking rocket science, but it is just logical writing, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it pays attention to the characters, it pays attention to the kind of the struggles and bits that they're going through, and the kind of that. And I like it's nice that it's schlocky as all fucking hell. I'll tell you that it's as schlocky as hell. It's somewhere between a soap and a kung fu flick. Yeah, It's like a soap, but instead of like kind of in EastEnders we get the shouting and yelling, they break out into karate fights. Yeah, it's like that, and it's if you say, oh, it's a bit crap, yeah, it is a bit crap in that respect, but it's still enjoyable.
It's a bit. I mean, tacky would be another way of wording it, but it's crap and tacky in the way that those original movies were, and we fucking love those original movies. Yeah. And that's what I mean. It's done in the right way, and I love how they've kept that feel. I mean, it's a total fictitious world, and the global karate club, like anybody, this exists, like it's world famous and everybody knows it, kind of thing. And it did make me laugh. And why Barcelona, Spain? But look, I loved it. I enjoyed it. It made me smile. It just makes, it's old school TV. It's just good storytelling. Yes, it's a bit tacky, but it's 80s tacky. Yes. In a good way. And there's no politics in it. There's no fucking thing. It's just, good TV. So I'm just annoyed about the release schedule. Netflix have gone a bit batshit crazy with this. And seriously, Stranger Things not out till 2025. I mean, what the fuck is going on?
They're filming
Those kids are going to be older than me.
Oh yeah, I watched the thing and it had Millie Bobby Brown and she's driving to work. She's driving to work. She goes, I started this when I was 10. I'm now 20. You're going to finish it off and you'll be 22 the way things are going. Yeah, I can't wait for the next part of Cobra Kai to come out, which you said November, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got Slow Horses between then
we
now.
have got
the next
a
big
few things.
The next bit of decent TV.
We've got Slow Horses in September, which will be good. We've got is there any other summer blockbusters that I don't know. I don't think there is.
There's Twisters, Deadpool, Wolverine, and there's one other I think that I was looking forward to. I will check. Right. Lord of the Rings Extended Edition, or as I call it, a long bloody watch. Part of me watched that and went, it would be great if this was split up into parts for a TV series. That would be really good. TV series of Lord of the Rings, just Lord of the Rings to the book. Okay, maybe you could put Tom Bombadil in there. Amazon, why wouldn't you just do that? Get the rights to do Lord of the Rings and do it to the book. Don't have to do any thinking. No thinking whatsoever. But hey, what do I fucking know? So I watched it and I've come to the conclusion that Sean Bean and what's his mush? Oh, who's the guy who plays Billy Butcher? Oh,
Carl
Urban.
Yeah,
were done a disservice in the original cuts because they were pretty much cut out of those films.
Yep.
There are bits where there's a screen bit where in the original, I swear to God, you can't see Carl Urban's character, and then you can see Carl Urban's character. So I think you start off. They go to. Oh, where's that place?
They go to Isengard.
Isengard. Thank you very much.
And this is where it differs to the book, because this is not where Saruman dies. So, I mean, spoilers. After the hobbits win and everything's over, they go back to the Shire, and Saruman has moved in and taken it over and turned it into this horrible industrial zone. You see a glimpse of that in Frodo's dream with Galadriel, but that actually does happen. It was called the Sacking of the Shire, and it's at that point that Merry and Pippin rile up all the hobbits into an army and basically take Saruman down. It is still Wormtongue that stabs him, but it's done at the end. But they didn't do the Sacking of the Shire.
It's one thing I noticed in this film. Yeah, the hobbits in the first film fucking useless. This film key to winning everything across the board. Seriously, which was it's weird because it kind of the way the film set out, and I imagine the book's probably set out the similar way, is that you start off and they're like this shite, and then they're like fucking massively important towards the end, which is great because that shows development of them too. So things like kind of, it's like when they meet Saruman, he drops the little orb thing, I don't know what they call it, the bloody thing that
Polenta.
polenta. So he drops a polenta and he desperately wants to see it, and he looks into it, yeah, and Gandalf's about to bollock him like he's done before for being such a twat, yeah. He goes to bollock him, and then he looks at him, and he turns around and goes, "Ooh, that's not good." And it's great because it happens like in a split second. He goes, "Oh, that's not good. Are you all right?" Sort of thing, yeah. Because he then notices that, and the great thing is, without them realizing, Pippin has drawn fucking Saruman away from the idea that someone is in Mordor dropping off the ring, which helps out beneficial. His mistake leads to an advantage, which is fantastic, and I like that. And then you see him turn, and then you see him then, right, I need to be brave, and then he goes before the king, not the king, the steward, sorry, steward of Gondor, and he turns around and goes, you know, your son saved my life, I offer my services in return. And it's like kind of, Gandalf's like, what are you doing, you bellend, like that. He's like, no, I'm in his, you know, I do owe him a favour, you know, this, that, and the other, and he's very serious about it in the film. And John Noble as the steward of Gondor, fantastic. Anyway, going back to Isengard and the bit where Saruman gets it, they almost, watching it again, they almost redeemed Wormtongue until Legolas shoots him. He's almost redeemed, because part of it's like the king of what do you call it? The king of Rohan is looking at him, thinking, "Well, hang on a second. I had this shit done to me. You might be under the influence too." And he has that look in his eye when he's looking up at him, thinking, maybe Grimmauld Wormtongue was manipulated like I was manipulated. Maybe he can be redeemed. I can be if he can be redeemed, I can be redeemed. Everyone can be redeemed, sort of thing. And I like that.
Yeah. And it is a tragedy that you do feel sorry when he dies. And again, that slight extent, there are slight extensions there over the cinematic release, I believe. But this one's chock full of little scenes and little extra bits. Like, I mean, as you move forward, you get the Faramir relationship with, you know, that Faramir falls, because that was completely cut out of the cinematic version. That's back because Faramir does end up with her. They marry. Whilst I love the Two Towers, I also like this film. I like this film. I like all three of the films. If I had to pick one, it's probably the Two Towers because of Helm's Deep and everything. But there's a lot in these films. There are things that are cut out. There are things at the end that I think are quite important that were cut out. And I understand how they ended the movie, and I understand where they ended it. I understand why they didn't do the sacking of the Shire. And I'm not too bad about that. I mean, you were talking about when Pippin gets to Minas Tirith. One of my favourite scenes in the whole of these is the lighting of the beacons, the music, the flying over, just the scenery and the way it goes across, and the music builds and builds and builds. It's just awesome, and that still gives me goosebumps. That scene, it just does it. The music is absolutely fucking perfect, and the way the beacons light across, it's just like, wow, you know.
Peter Jackson getting killed by Legolas because of Gimli clips his arrow. I love that. I just love that. I was like, where's Peter Jackson this time? Boom. They had 2 Wilhelm screams in this.
Yes.
Just like to point out, because that's something my son is very keen on spotting.
Yes, I know
TV
about
shows.
Yeah, I hear them all the time.
As soon as you notice it, it's once per film usually, but this time had 2. I liked they had the bit where they attacked the pirate boats that were coming in, and I'm sure that scene was longer than it was, because I'm sure it's like that the Peter Jackson being killed was cut out, and it was they were yelling at the boats, and they go, "You and whose army?" and then the pirates turn up, and it doesn't seem. it's like a little tiny slither.
That's not in it.
That's
None
not
of
in
it. No, they see the boats, right? Then in the cinematic thing, and then he comes out and goes, "We'll fight for you," and then it cuts. And then the next time you see them is when they jump off the boat, and you know what's about to happen. But you got all of that in the extended edition, which again,
my issue with the Ghost Army was they were fucking undefeatable. Full stop.
Yes,
there was no way you could defeat a Ghost Army. And then because they just kept the Deus Ex, because the way it was set up, it felt very Deus Ex Machina sort of thing.
No, I mean this is in the original book, but this is the story.
No, in the original. I'm talking about the original film when you watched it and they just turned up on the boats, killed everyone. They seemed to wash through in like a green thing. And that was it. But in this version, because it was longer and the way it was set out, it felt a bit more earned, with the exception of the last part when they get inside the city and you just see like a green wave. Didn't feel... It just felt like...
But that wasn't
the hand waved away.
Battle. That wasn't the final battle. And this is Sauron's arrogance that he didn't really anticipate Aragorn, or the fact that Aragorn would rise to it, because there was only one person that could have got that army to fight, and that was Aragorn. There was no one else, would it? So he was safe. This is where people compare him to Voldemort in their arrogance, and there is some truth in that. Sauron's downfall was his arrogance, that he didn't believe that Aragorn would rise to the occasion, and go. And even, I mean, again, not in the cinematic version, but in the extended version, and it's a really important scene, is where Aragorn picks up the polenta and stares into it and still drops it because Saruman sees, and he still believes that Aragorn is weak. But it was only Aragorn that could have risen that army, and even then, they did. There's still 10,000 fucking orcs in Mordor, so they've only won a battle. They haven't defeated it, so that army was not staying around. So it could have gone another way. Again, it's because Frodo, and at the end of the day, the hero is not Frodo. It's Gollum.
No, it's Sam.
Well,
you're fucking right.
Gollum
it's
is
Sam.
the one that destroys the ring.
He destroys the ring, but Sam, it's fucking Sam. Because Sam was one who makes sure everything happens the way it should have happened, yeah?
Sam is the unsung hero. And this is where Sam is Sam's, you see, because Frodo leaves Sam Bag End. But Sam does, at the end, go into the east. Because after Rosie dies, Sam's children are married, and Sam lives a happy life in Bag End. He lives a happy life, right? But at the end, he goes into the east. Merry and Pippin don't. They die in Gondor and are buried alongside Aragorn. Sam goes into the east because Sam was a ring bearer, be it briefly. And because Sam is a ring bearer, Sam gets to go into the east. So Sam gets to join Frodo.
In the book, in the film, they managed to put across about how fucking hard it is to let go of that ring. I love that, because it starts off and you've got Isildur and Hugo Weaving. Isildur and Hugo Weaving. And they're in Mount Doom, and he's supposed to drop the ring, yeah? And then you just it bookends it with Sam and Frodo, and Frodo is supposed to release the ring, and he goes, no, and then Gollum then turns up to then bite his finger off, which was Elrond. All right, thank you, darling.
I was about to say that, but I was letting you go through there. And then I was going to...
And I love that. I love the way that was bookended. That's in both versions of it, where it's that bookended part of it. And Sam is the one that makes everything happen. Seriously, if Sam doesn't go back for Frodo, nothing happens.
But it is Gollum that... Because Sam wouldn't have been able to convince him to go back. It's Gollum that destroys the ring.
See, Gollum. See, the weird thing is lots of people compare the ring to like addiction. Yeah, like you're doing like heroin or gambling or whatever your addiction is. Yeah, and not being able to let go of that addiction. Yeah, and having to go like Gollum had to go bloody cold turkey. Yeah, and then how it fractures your kind of personality and does that and again the not being able to let go of that ring. Yeah. Which Sam shows when he's in the tower. He's in the, I can't remember what the name of it is. Menace thing, Morgul, where they're in the tower, and he goes. He can't give the ring back to him, and he should be saying, "I can't give it back. You're just gonna have to take it from me." And that's great. And Gollum is that he couldn't give it up, and because he couldn't give up his addiction killed him.
Yes, but I mean. Yes, you're right. And it just reminded me of something I noted in the film. There are parts of this film that look dated, right? But by God, Gollum still, to this day, looks so fucking good.
It's the eyes. It's the eyes.
It's the eyes. It's the hair. I was looking at him on this screen, because I was watching it in 4K, and I'm just going. You can tell there's miniatures in use a bit. There's bits where they're flying over Minas Tirith that it looks slightly dated now, but Gollum is still spot on. I love this bit.
Right, no, it's just this is the bit I've probably brought this up before, but this is the bit where Aragorn goes really Irish.
Yeah, he does.
Here we go.
Let the Lord of the Black Land come forth!
How Irish does he sound?
He does sound a bit
He
Irish.
just sounds really Irish. All of a sudden he's become Irish. It's great though, because it feels like a bit of a, what do you call it, a Father Ted sketch sort of thing there. But it's, yeah.
But then, and again, I got quite emotional, and I still get emotional when, at the end, where Aragorn goes to the hobbits, you bow for no man, and everybody bows.
Yeah.
But the bit where he chops off this guy's head, I fucking love that. I still cheer at that.
Yeah.
Even though the voice of Sauron doesn't, it was an added thing. It's not in the book, but
the mouth
even
of
so,
Sauron, I think.
Mouth, voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that bit.
The worst thing is, if it would have been me in charge of the film, I would have pasted in just hearing Aragorn going "fuck it" just before he cuts his head off, and it would have worked. It would have worked. Fuck it, just really quietly.
I mean, it is a great scene. And then you have obviously all the multiple endings of it, but I love these films. I like how they do. I like the fact that they did show at least Frodo going on to the way, and you get a lot more Frodo's return, because in the cinematic version you don't get that scene in the pub. You don't get, and that scene is so powerful, where they're all there, they're sitting in the pub, and there's just complete silence between them, because they don't have to, and they're all thinking the same thing. They like being home, but it's never going to be the same.
Yeah.
And then you get that bittersweet thing with Frodo going into the West, but I know that it's not the last time he will see Sam, because Sam goes into the East. But Sam gets to live a life with Rosie. The only people that are hard done by, the only people that don't get to go into the East is Aragorn and
Legolas and
Merry and Pippin.
Oh, okay.
Legolas and Gimli kind of form this partnership and go traveling around each other. Legolas stays for a very long time. I've got to find out what happened to Gimli, because Legolas stays. I think Legolas doesn't go into the East. I can never remember that. What happened to them in the end? But I know that Merry and Pippin have a life. They have wives and have families, but they travel to Gondor, and they get the honor of being buried alongside the king.
I always imagine that Legolas and Gimli bugger off, and they do like what The Witcher does, where they go town to town hunting down monsters and putting things right.
They kind of
I've
did
made
a
great
bit of
TV
that.
series.
They kind of do a bit of that. I remember that bit in the appendices, but it's a long time since I've read the appendices. But I know what happens to Sam because he was a ring bearer, be it for a short amount of time, and the film doesn't really emphasize that, and that it's slight criticism that Sam was a ring bearer. And that has huge thing. And Sam, you're right that Sam is the unsung hero because Sam gives the ring up.
Yeah,
and Sam,
he does.
Sam, yeah.
And it's the other thing that this is the bit that kind of hit me a bit more towards the end of the film because in my brain I watched a few videos where they talked about Tolkien's influences, and one of them was like kind of didn't like the industrialization of Britain. He was really against the whole like World War One and all of that stuff there. And in my head, when I got towards the end, and it made it really fucking more emotional, was the idea that these people had been in like World War One, and you got the imagery of you see the soldiers carrying other soldiers across their back and trying to get them out of like danger and to safety and whatnot. And then you get the stories of the guys who came back from war but didn't come back from war. And Frodo talks about his injury, how he was stabbed at the top of where it was, and he hasn't healed and he hasn't quite come back. And that made it extra fucking sad towards the end, because it's like this is a guy who's seen things, and it's just like you think about like military veterans and stuff. They've gone through stuff like that. And they came home and they never left that battlefield. And that made it more emotional when I looked at it through that lens rather than he's going away sort of thing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And Mordor is the description of Mordor is Flanders Field. It is that the trenches, the horror of that, the horror of no man's land, and how it was described. There was no living things on it because of all the gases that they fired and the chemicals. So there was this no man's land, and that's what Mordor was based upon. Oh yeah, there's very definitely that there, and yeah, I mean Frodo's journey in some ways is tragic, but he goes into the East where he is healed. I mean, it's Tolkien's version of an afterlife, really ruined partly by fucking stupid bloody, what is it? Rings of power, because the elves were not fucking going into the East at that point. Second age.
Yeah.
Second age.
Yes, that's why it's called the Second Age.
So, anyway, there's so many things in this film. There's so many things that I like. The extended editions change the film. They make them better film.
Definitely in this case, because I wasn't as keen on Return of the King as I was the others. But now, if I go to the extended editions, I go Two Towers, Return of the King, then Fellowship. The reason that Fellowship is that there's a lot of stuff like Gollum that adds so much to it. Yeah, the fact that you get to see like Mordor and things actually are hinted at happening in Fellowship of the Ring, but they actually happen in these other two films. The Nazgul, I love the Nazgul. The Nazgul, the shadows from B5 are the fucking Nazgul. They have the scream, they come out of nowhere, they breathe fire sort of thing, and that's just awesome. And the fact that Eowyn, or whatever her name is, I have to make sure I say her name right, she kills off the Witch King, because the Witch King says, I can't be killed no by might no man. I've got tits, darling!
Yeah, but that, you see, I'm no...
Surprise! Hang on, Keith, stop. Yeah. Surprise! Whammon!
Yes, but this works, right? There's so many people that have dissed this going, if you look at this through a modern set of eyes. No, because that line is actually in the fucking book, for starters, right?
It makes sense.
That's because the original fucking woman power, because girl power, whatever you want to call it. That here it's one of the only rare occasions where it doesn't sound cliche, because that's where everybody's stolen it from. I'm no man. She stabs him. I mean, what you don't, it hints at with the extra scenes is it takes a lot of recovery for her to do from that. But it is because that she was a woman that she managed to kill him, and Pippin fucking got in there as well.
Yeah, I like that. That was good. It was, but again, that's where I would have cut in a fuck just before she gets stabbed. or Monty Python. Well, I didn't think of that. I just find a line from Monty Python. Well, I didn't think of that one, did I?
Yeah,
it's the extended version of Return of the King is far superior to the theatrical one. Out of all the extended cuts, it's the one that makes the most amount of sense because it answers a lot of questions to a lot of things. But it is fucking long, Keith. It is really fucking long.
It is one of the. It is the longest of all of them. You're right. It is really fucking long. But it is. It uses it.
Yeah. It's a bit. It's a thing. Anyway, I think we should wrap this bastard up and put a bow on it. Unless you got anything else you want to like to add to the Lord of the Ring discussion.
I could talk about this for ages, but no, I won't. I won't bore people.
And on that note, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me. Thank you for watching. See you next week when we'll be talking about Deadpool Wolverine. Can't wait.
Yes. Bye-bye.